I'm Erin Burnett, and welcome to our special coverage of tonight's GOP debate, the final debate before Tuesday's crucial New Hampshire primary. Joining me again, our chief political analyst, Gloria Borger, our senior political analyst, David Gergen, senior political reporter, Nia Malika Henderson, and David Axelrod, our senior political analyst. Also here with me tonight are political commentators, Jeffrey Lord, Donald Trump supporter, Amanda Carpenter, the former communications director for Senator Cruz, Matt Lewis, the author of Too Dumb to Fail, How the GOP Betrayed the Reagan Revolution to Win Elections, and Kevin Madden, of course, the former senior advisor to Mitt Romney's 2012 campaign. It was a very big night for a couple of the candidates and a particularly bad night for others. They could say this really moved the needle for some. Let's get started with tonight's winners and losers. Okay, so let's start with you, Gloria, this time. The winner? I'm the loser.
I didn't change my mind. So I think Marco Rubio did not have a great night. I thought he had a debate that he lost with Chris Christie on the question of his experience. I think the governors all did well. I think Kasich, Bush, and Christie all did well. Christie was on the attack, and I think he probably ended up helping others more than he helped himself, but we'll have to see. David?
I thought the big winner tonight were people who had had executive experience. That included the governors as well as Donald Trump. New Hampshire has more independence, and it's a more moderate state. And I think the fact that they're more pragmatic than the people in Congress, both Cruz and Rubio, I think plays well to the New Hampshire voter. People are looking for answers, and people actually, they want leaders who can actually get something done. And I think tonight we saw experience does matter in how you think about things. It makes you more pragmatic.
And the loser?
The loser was Marco Rubio.
Yeah. Okay. Nia?
Yeah. Marco Rubio, I think, he's now got something hanging over his head, this narrative about not being prepared, being canned. So I think he's got to figure that out going forward. I thought Trump kind of won by not losing. He didn't get in the middle of big fights. People still seem to not really want to take him on. There was that moment with Jeb around eminent domain, but whether or not that'll resonate immediately here with New Hampshire, hard to see that happening immediately.
Cruz was the winner in Iowa, and he isn't a big player in New Hampshire because there isn't that base of conservative voters that he's hoping to find in South Carolina. I thought there were moments when he looked a little uncharacteristically indecisive, like when he was asked to repeat what he had said on the trail about Donald Trump not being prepared to have his finger on the button. I thought he frankly kind of wimped out on that, and I wonder how his supporters felt about that.
Yeah, he didn't take it. He wouldn't repeat it, and he was given multiple choices.
And he didn't push it.
Yeah, he was given multiple chances to do that. All right. Now, you all, obviously some of you have dogs in this fight. You're a Donald Trump supporter. You're the former communications director for Ted Cruz. Could mean you'd go anyway, but let's go down the line here. Winner, loser.
I do think the governors had a good night. And I think David is right about executive experience. And for the first time that I've heard at length, Donald Trump talked about his own executive experience, which I do think is propelling some of his support. One of the losers, if I can say, I think was Ben Carson. I just think we're rapidly seeing this disappear. He's such a nice guy.
He barely made it out. It may be telling that you're the first person who's mentioned his name in the past couple of minutes. Amanda,
I mean, hands down, Chris Christie is the winner. I mean, he was in such complete control in this debate. At one point, I was wondering if he were the moderator. But I don't think it'll help his campaign because he was so vicious to Marco Rubio. I think there was some blood that spattered back his face.
Could be that after Tuesday. Available to be the moderator.
Going on the attack, I pictured him as VP in a vice president debate because that's one of the big tests when you pick a VP. Can they perform in that very important debate? And man, Chris Christie could knife somebody up.
Yeah, I think it was sort of a murder-suicide with Chris Christie. So I think he tried to take out Rubio, but it's not going to help Christie right now. I do want to stress, I think Rubio finished strong.
Yes.
But in the beginning, it was disastrous for Marco Rubio. And I think the problem is, if you put this in context, Rubio comes out of Iowa in third place, but he might as well have won. He had all this momentum going into New Hampshire. And if he finishes ahead of Kasich, of Jeb, and of Christie in New Hampshire, he then owns the establishment lane. It then becomes clearly a three-man race. But Rubio had a bad night for a bad debate.
And Kevin?
Well, I think if we're going from first to worst, I would definitely agree that Christie had a very strong debate. I think he controlled the tone and tempo of the debate. He definitely beat Rubio on points with that head-to-head exchange that they had. Carson was almost non-existent. He's a non-factor now. I think this may have been one of his last debates. Rubio, while he did start slow, got much stronger during the course of the debate, and I think he recovered very nicely. I think momentum is a very valuable commodity, particularly at this time in a campaign. I don't know if he is going to continue to keep that momentum. It could have stopped him right now, so that's one thing to be a factor. But to agree with something that Amanda said, Chris Christie is probably going to be the most effective surrogate we have in going after Hillary Clinton in the general election. So he's going to be around, even if his campaign may end on Tuesday night.
It's interesting how on this side, this table, though, it turned from, okay, Rubio had a bad night, and then you all started to turn it to, well, at the end, he got a little bit better.
No, he did get better at the end.
Hold on one moment. We have on Kasich, Governor Kasich.